Hey, you guys, Matthew Sanchez here, and I believe that stories help us grow. I believe that it is the story of somebody else's help us connect to people. Stories are so powerful. So this is why I interviewed Desmond Martin. He is the CEO and founder of his own life coaching business. I believe that his story is so powerful that once you listen to it, you'll be motivated. You'll be encouraged. All the doubt will leave your mind. So I pray and hope that as you're listening to Desmond's story, that you be encouraged by it, right? And I hope that if you are encouraged by it, that you teach somebody else what you've learned. Because when you learn, you teach. When you get, you give. Here's Desmond.
You're watching an MSW production.
I'm Matthew Sanchez, and my life's mission is to inspire you. Okay, so brother, show me what it's like. Show me what it's like to be you.
As a child, angry. I was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I felt abandoned. And most importantly, unheard.
So you felt hurt, abandoned, and unheard. What did that do for you as an adult?
For one, it caused me to seek attention in
places,
in the wrong places, in the wrong ways, and from the wrong people. I found myself in relationships with people only because they wanted me. And as a child growing up without a father, there was a feeling that I wasn't wanted, which I now know the details. As a child, I didn't know the details. The only thing that I knew was that I had given a person opportunity and times to be a part, and they were not. That caused me that anytime a person showed me that I was wanted, it caused me to latch on to them in a way.
So you were attracted to people who really didn't deserve who you were.
Yeah.
You didn't know the difference because no one taught you this is a bad person and this is a good person. Because you were so used to being abandoned.
I mean, it's funny because I saw the signs that they were not meant for me, but the fact that they made me feel wanted overrid the signs that I saw. It made me look past the red flags. The feeling that I got made me just look past the red flags.
Right. How are you dealing with that now?
I think I've healed from it. At that point in my life, as I've had time to do some self-reflection, I realized that, in a sense, I was abusing myself, because I was giving people pieces of me and parts of me, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, that didn't deserve me in either of those ways. And
worst moment of your life, tell me about it.
It would have to be the relationship that I was in, which stemmed from my first sexual encounter.
Okay.
That was the first time I had sex with a person, first time I had lived with a person, first time, once again, I abandoned myself
Right.
and and, and I put me last
Right.
in that regard. I allowed a person to play with my mind,
Right.
to play with my emotions, to play with my heart in the grand scheme of things. And it was actually through an argument that the truth came out. This person basically told me that the only reason why I invited you here was I thought that it would be cool to live with my boyfriend and I needed help paying the bills.
Wow. Wow.
And so if you
So
can
forget
imagine,
about the love. Forget about, because you want to be with me, or you just want me to pay your bills.
yeah, so imagine what that does to a person that has left home for the first time, has,
Mm.
basically left the comfort of their parents' house, left the safety of their parents' house to move in with a person that they think they know, and to find out that what they thought they knew wasn't the truth. Like that. And so man, that put me in a pit. That put me in a pit. That put me in a very depressive state. That put me in a very depressive state, man. Tried to commit suicide.
Mm.
Thank God that failed. It's funny because even after that, I left that relationship, got in another unhealthy relationship.
Why didn't you take time to heal from the previous relationship? Why did you just jump into a new one? Was it because no one taught you how to heal? No one taught you that your feelings matter? No one taught you that, listen, I have got to take care of me first before I can take care of anybody else? No one taught you that? How did, what made you think that you were just going to go into another relationship and everything was going to be okay?
I mean, up until that relationship, I stayed single for a while, but I didn't do any self healing in my singleness. And I think that this is important for every single person to understand that just because you're not with somebody doesn't mean that you're healing,
Hmm.
right? So, although I was healing, I wasn't doing anything constructive or productive that allowed me to heal my mental space. I would just sleep and sit and just mope in despair, just talk about how hurt I was. And once again, here was another young lady that she listened, she made me feel wanted, made me feel important, all of those things, right? Because I didn't have that coming up as a kid, from my father. I didn't get that from my first serious relationship. Now, here is the picture of everything that I've ever wanted,
Right.
and it still turns out
Right.
that that's not it.
Right. Wow. What did you say to somebody? What would you say to somebody who's going through, especially, first of all, for you to be a man to talk about your feelings in this way, says a lot about who you are as an individual and where your life is going to head. So, but what would you say to somebody who is struggling in a relationship that is toxic right
I would tell that person that you have to understand your value. I didn't know my value.
now?
I
Right.
didn't know how valuable I was. Like, I would have people's parents tell their daughters, that's a good young man. You better keep him. I would hear what they were saying, but I didn't feel that way. You know, I didn't feel like I was valuable. I didn't know my value. I didn't know what I brought to the table. And I think When a person knows what they're bringing to the table, they can come with a set of standards to where they won't accept anything less than what they deserve.
Right.
When you know what you bring, then you won't accept anything that demeans who you are and
Right.
your value. You know, it's like gold,
Right.
right?
This is why it's so important to teach our young people that listen, you have something to offer. You have something to bring to the table. And when you don't bring what you have to offer to the table, they would just make room for all of theirs and never make
Yeah,
room for you. So if we don't teach our children that they are valuable, that they have something, then they will let people run over them for the rest of their lives. And listen, that will determine the next 10 years of their life, because not only will they do that in their relationship, they will do that in their businesses, they will do that to their children, they will repeat the cycle. So this is why it's so important, because when you don't know you're valuable, you do things that don't honor who you are.
yeah.
And
And
what
you,
did you
and
do? What did you do that didn't honor who you were?
honestly, man, connect to people that really didn't deserve me, bro.
Mm,
Connect to people that really didn't deserve who I was as a person. Giving myself away, giving my body away, giving my mind away, giving my emotions away, giving my time away
mm,
to
mm,
people that really didn't deserve me.
mm,
They didn't. They didn't.
mm,
They didn't. It's one thing for a person to tell you,
mm.
but I said earlier that they showed me, you know, and I know me and you, we love the late great Maya Angelou.
Of course,
And she said something. She said, when a person shows you who they are, believe them
the first time, right?
the first time. When they show you who they are the first time, believe them. I just didn't. I didn't listen to the signs, man. The people were showing me that they didn't value me.
They had red flags, and you just refused to listen.
But because I didn't value myself, I didn't know myself worth.
Of
And
course,
so if you don't know your value, if you don't know
somebody
yourself,
else will tell you, right?
then you won't know how others need to treat you.
Wait a minute, say that again. If you don't know your value, then you won't know how others need to treat you.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah,
That's good. That's
yeah.
good. Wow. So now you know all you know now. Is there anything you would do different?
I'm gonna go back to my dare days in school. I would just say no. I would just say no.
Right.
You know,
But
uh,
don't you think that you've gone through whatever everything that you've gone through made you the person you are today? So if it had to been different back then, you wouldn't be standing here right now.
of course, of course. You know,
So which means you
the
don't have any regrets.
in some cases, like the
It makes
some
sense.
of the
We all have regrets. It's okay.
some of the experiences that I had to go through, I wouldn't want to go through again. But I'm thankful for the lessons that I learned.
Right. Right.
But some of but how I had to learn the lessons,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
How I had to learn the lessons,
Right.
I, I wouldn't I wouldn't want to learn those lessons that way again.
Right. Right now, I'm listening. Listen, I will be always and forever listening to "The Path Made Clear" by Oprah Winfrey. And in the book, I have the audio. So in the audio book, Deepak Chopra,
Hmm.
that is, yeah, he's
Yeah,
a spiritual guru teacher. He says that it's not what happens to you; it's how you respond to it what matters. So
yeah,
I think that we think as people and as adults and as young people, we think that life is not going to happen to us. We think that because our parents did such a good job trying to shield us away from life, right? We think that it's not going to happen. Oh, this will be easy. Pay, oh, I can learn how to pay bills, you know. Get it, yeah, but can you pay bills in the midst of a toxic relationship? See what I'm saying? It's a different feeling. So we because we think life is not gonna happen to us, when it does happen to us, we don't know how to respond to it. And this is where we fail our children because we don't teach them how to respond well. If you're so let's set the scenario. If I'm in a marriage that I've been in for 5 years, right, and then she cheats on me, right,
Mhm.
I go and beat her for cheating
Mhm.
instead of talking to her and figuring out what did I not do or what happened or
Mhm.
what kind of place were you in when you thought about it, right, and
Mhm.
why didn't she feel comfortable enough to come tell me?
Mhm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a difference. You respond the way you respond will determine the next 10 years of your life.
Yeah. 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 Of course. You know.
Everything. You tell me, life coach. You the life coach. You tell me.
Yeah. Of course. You know, your life certainly depends on the choices that you make.
Mhm.
You know, I posted a quote just on today that said that people are waiting for the tables to turn,
Mm.
but they haven't flipped any tables yet.
Mm. Say it one more time. Say it again.
That people are waiting for the tables to turn, but they haven't flipped any tables yet.
Mm.
And what that is saying is that you have to be an active participant in your freedom, whatever that may be, whether that's addiction, whether that's hurt, whether that's abuse, whether that's struggle, whether that's getting your life back on track, whether that's depression, whatever it is that has you bound, you need to be an active participant in your process to freedom, right? So for me, as we talk about responding, because even in those moments, I've learned how to respond. That is one thing that those lessons has taught me. It has taught me how to respond. I no longer punch walls and harm myself,
Yeah. Come on.
but I know how to respond. And you know what has helped me is I respond in prayer. Now
Mm.
I know that there's going to be a lot of people that watch this that believe in different gods, but as for me and my house,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
we will serve the Lord.
I know that's right.
And life happens. Life happens. Although I'm now married, May 12th will be 5 years that I've been married. And
Congratulations.
thank you, thank you, thank you. And life happens. But I now know how to respond. I respond in prayer. I no longer consult people, but I consult God.
Mm.
I go to the source that made me. I go to the source
Yeah.
that holds time in his hand. I go to the source that has written my story. I go to the source that said period on my life before he said begin.
Mm.
That's where I now go.
Right.
That's how I respond.
Right.
I respond in prayer.
Right.
I respond in wisdom.
Right.
That's how I respond.
Right. Where can tell people where can they follow you? How can we get in contact with you if we need a life coach? Tell us your information to close out.
All right. So you can follow me on Facebook at Desmond Martin. You can follow me on Instagram at 365 underscore purpose DM. Or you can shoot me an email at coachdesmondm@gmail.com.
Give us a word to close us out. Give us something to close us out with.
Your past does not define who you are.
Say that again. Say that again.
Your past does not define who you are. Your past does not direct your present,
Mm.
nor does your past dictate your future.
That's good. Thank you again, brother, for even offering me or thinking of me to interview for you to share your story. This means a lot to me because, as you know, my life's work is to encourage people in each and every way that I can. So that is what my life is for, and that's what I will use my life on. So thank you again. God bless you, and I can't wait to see what you will do next.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.